But this one didn't have to travel very far. So that's nice. And then over here we have Front Row Joe.
Hey! Woo! We love you!
25. I don't know what they do. I know they're rich.
I know!
What they do, but we love all of you. You're great.
Thank you.
American patriots.
Thank you! Thank you!
By the
Wow!
way, the Vietnamese delegation.
Yay!
About Vietnam, but they do.
We love you!
Thank you.
We love you!
Thank you.
We love you!
They travel with me all over. You know, I must be too soft on Vietnam because you like me too much.
Yeah, we like freedom!
We love you. We love you.
We like freedom! This was the country with freedom!
They want freedom.
Yes, sir!
Under Mike.
We love freedom! Freedom!
5, 6. I think it's 125. I don't know what they do. I know they're rich, but I don't know what they do. But we love all of you. You're great. You're great American patriots. Thank you. And by the way, the Vietnamese delegation, I don't know what it is about Vietnam, but they do like me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we like them. Thank you. They travel with me all over. You know, I must be too soft on Vietnam because you like me too much. You like me too much. Thank you very much. I agree. They want freedom. That's right.
Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President! Thank you! Mr. President! Thank you very much! Thank you!
No Trump can do that.
birthday to President Tổng thống Trump. Ok. Và hôm nay là ngày 14 tháng 6 năm 2024. Và hôm nay là cái gì biết là ngày gì đó không? Happy birthday của Tổng thống. Và hôm nay chúng em sẽ có một tiết mục West Palm Beach, nơi mà biệt thự của Tổng thống đang ở, đó là Mar-a-Lago. Nhưng mà hôm nay lại được tổ chức birthday tại Convention Center West Palm Beach. Cho nên hôm nay có một chuyến đi về và dự birthday của Tổng thống trong ngày hôm nay. Và bây giờ đã là 4 giờ rưỡi sáng quý vị, thì chúng em bắt đầu cuộc hành trình từ đây đi về West Palm Beach trong vòng 3 tiếng đồng hồ quý vị. Thì để có một ngày để mà chúc mừng cho Tổng thống, và cũng là Club 47 để tổ chức cho một buổi birthday của Tổng thống trong ngày hôm nay quý vị. Thì được tổ chức tại Convention Center West Palm Beach nha. Và bây giờ cuộc hành trình của chúng em hôm nay sẽ bắt đầu vào lúc là 4 giờ rưỡi sáng tại Mạo Đao Ra. Bây giờ chúng em đợi trên đường hành trình về đó là nguyên một ngày sẽ ở tại Convention Center và sẽ chào đón Tổng thống đến cho cái buổi nói chuyện của tối hôm nay, và cũng là một ngày birthday của Tổng thống. Chính vì vậy mà chúng em sẽ có mặt trên nền cái số, và chúng em sẽ đến đó dự một cái buổi birthday của Tổng thống, và sẽ được nghe Tổng thống nói được những cái gì cho ngày birthday của Tổng thống cho ngày hôm nay. Ok quý vị, một lần nữa hẹn quý vị trên đường đi nha. Và bây giờ sẽ đồng hành với chúng em là Margaret King Always đồng hành cùng chúng em. Ok, một lần nữa hẹn quý vị trên đường đi và có những cuộc nói chuyện giữa đường và chuyến đi như thế nào thì mời quý vị cùng các khán giả hãy tiếp tục đồng hành cùng chúng em nha. Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Chơi chắc sâu. Đây Tổng thống đây. Đây thôi, tới nó hình sáng. Trời mùa này kỳ nó buổi tối tới 9-10 giờ đêm nó mới tối được, sáng sớm giờ 5-6 giờ sáng rồi, 5 giờ sáng. Trời thì hình thật thôi, trời thì tới buồn rồi. Sẽ một ngày rất là tuyệt vời nha quý vị. Chúng ta đi dự đây Tổng thống và được nghe Tổng thống nói chuyện trong ngày hôm nay luôn thì không còn cái bằng nữa. Okay. Ta sẽ một ngày rất là tuyệt vời. Tiếp tục. Go.
Nãy giờ online nên mình nói chuyện được.
Dạ không. Bây giờ không phải quay phim nữa đó. Mọi người ơi, đây đang còn đi nãy giờ là đi từ lúc 5 giờ, bây giờ là bây giờ là gần 2 tiếng rồi. Mặt trời đang lên sáng sớm rồi đó. Từ lúc 5 giờ mấy mà bây giờ gần 7 giờ rồi em ạ.
Dạ.
Như thế.
7 giờ.
Và hôm nay trời sương mù hơi nhiều á, cho nên bây giờ giờ này 7 giờ sáng rồi còn sương mù nữa. Đi rất là đẹp luôn, tuyệt vời. Nói chung là hy vọng hôm nay là một ngày rất là tuyệt vời để mà đến đồng hồ Tổng thống Trump, là cũng giống như là ngày hôm nay là ngày birthday của ông. Và quý vị cũng thấy là vô Convention Center, một cái Convention Center rất là lớn nha, giống như cách đây 1 năm trước mình cùng đi em nhớ không? Mình tới đó và hôm nay được tổ chức birthday tại Tổng thống tại ở đó nữa. Thì nó thật sự
Hồi đó đứng ở ngoài đường chờ coi Tổng thống có đi ngang không để mừng sinh nhật cho Tổng thống, mà không có gặp mà còn đứng. Mà hôm nay là chắc chắn là chiều nay sẽ được gặp Tổng thống để chúc mừng sinh nhật cho ông và thêm cho ông nhiều cái niềm tin, cái sức mạnh cho ông có thể chiến thắng trong năm 2024 sắp tới đây. Và mong rằng mọi người cũng vậy, luôn yêu thương và ủng hộ cho Tổng thống Trump trên một cái tinh thần thật là mạnh mẽ như ông đang làm nha.
với lại quý vị cũng thấy đó, sau những cái cáo buộc, sau những cái kết tội của Tổng thống rồi như thế nào không cần biết, nhưng mà những cái ngày, những cái đi vận động hoặc là những cái cuộc rally kể cả những cái ngày birthday của tổng thống vẫn tổ chức bình thường nha quý vị, chứ không có một cái gì mà chúng ta phải worry là tổng thống sẽ bị bắt, tổng thống bị giết đâu. Chuyện đó chúng ta cứ cho nó làm và cho nó, đó là những cái cáo buộc như vậy, thì có những cái defense của tổng thống sau này sẽ trở ra, chứ không phải là nói là cái tội đó không có đơn giản như vậy đâu. Có những cái defense của tổng thống sẽ ra, đó là những cái kế hoạch của tổng thống. Tại vì nếu chúng ta không vào hang cọp thì không bao giờ bắt được cọp. Chính vì vậy mà tổng thống Trump lại là một người đi đầu cho cái nước Mỹ này, cái lịch sử của nước Mỹ này sẽ từ cái mốc của tổng thống, mà sau này chúng ta sẽ có những cái đó đi vào lịch sử như thế nào. Đó là một vị tổng thống đầu tiên lại một người chịu tội, và người ta sẽ là ra tội như thế nào, thì đó chúng ta sẽ lấy cái gương đó và chúng ta sẽ, đó là một cái mốc lịch sử sau này chúng ta còn lưu giữ nữa, chứ không phải là cáo buộc tổng thống như vậy là tổng thống sẽ khuất phục và chịu tội đâu. Nào, không bao giờ chuyện đó sẽ xảy ra. Mà đó là một vị tổng thống đầu tiên mà chúng ta sẽ thấy và đi vào lịch sử cho nước Mỹ này 200 mấy năm, thì chúng ta sẽ thấy một điều đó. Và hy vọng ngày hôm nay cũng là một ngày rất là đẹp trời để chúng ta có một ngày dài và đến ủng hộ cho tổng thống Trump. Và cũng như hôm nay là một ngày rất là đặc biệt, đó là ngày birthday của tổng thống. Ok, đây là trên đoạn đường đi, và mình và Trang đã có những cuộc nói chuyện này, và cũng là muốn chúng ta tiếp tục đồng hành để mà có những thước phim, có những cái hình ảnh đẹp chúng ta sẽ cho ngày hôm nay. Ok, cái gì hẹn chút xíu nữa gặp ở Convention Center nha, tại West Palm Beach cho ngày hôm nay. Ok, on the way thôi, rất là đẹp trời. Cái gì? Ok, yes. Rồi quý vị ơi, sau 2-3 tiếng đồng hồ lái xe, bây giờ chúng ta bắt buộc đến Convention Center nha. Đó, phía trước mặt chúng ta là cái Convention Center đó.
Đúng ra ngày hôm nay là từ khúc này đổ dài luôn trong rồi.
Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đi vào
chạy phía xa nhớ cái chỗ
bếp, đi lên trên bếp nữa. Cái khúc này cảnh sát vô, nhưng mà mình đi lên phía trên. Đó, trên mặt xe chúng ta là xe cảnh sát đó. Nhưng mà bây giờ chúng ta đi vô cái Convention Center này. Vào vô đây. Đây là phía mặt trước nha. Cái Convention Center là phía bên tay phải của chúng ta đó. Tổng thống sẽ vô đường này.
Nên là đáng lẽ ra là người Việt chúng ta sẽ đứng dài từ đầu đó vào tới đây luôn.
Nếu mà tổ chức ở đây thì chúng ta sẽ làm vậy. Cầm quanh. Rồi chúng ta sẽ vào đây. Đó, Convention Center Bắc Kinh, thấy không? Giờ chúng ta sẽ đi vào đây nha.
Sẽ đậu giống cái bữa trước nha.
Xe cảnh sát ở đây. Những cái đoàn người ta tới đây đọc đây.
Bây giờ còn sớm quá.
Dạ. Không, nhưng mà bây giờ là mình
họ đứng đây từ 4-5 giờ sáng rồi đó cô. Anh chỗ đó luôn á.
Chỗ đây có chỗ đậu xe. Đây.
Turn left onto L Street. Turn right, then turn left onto South Rosemary Avenue.
Để mình nói bạn thắc là mình được.
Trước thôi để mình ấn nút.
Dạ.
Ok. Bây giờ quý vị ơi, bây giờ đã là 1 giờ rồi đó, mọi người vẫn còn đứng chờ deadline vô dự buổi birthday của tổng thống trong ngày hôm nay. Và bây giờ cái line nó đã get long rồi nha. Rất là đông mọi người đã đến đây. Đó. Hello quý vị, bây giờ đã là 1:30 chiều rồi quý vị. Mọi người bây giờ nó còn đến đây, deadline bắt đầu đông nha. Cho chiều hôm nay một cái buổi event cho tổng thống Trump vào birthday của ông. Đấy quý vị. Cho mọi người. Woo! Let's go. Bây giờ đã là 1:30 rồi quý vị. Cho mọi người thấy được là tất cả mọi người đã đến đây. Trump. Deadline. Quý vị, trời hôm nay rất là nóng, cho nên quý vị thấy không, những cái bình nước người ta để sẵn đây cho mọi người đứng giữ. Và đây là cái đoàn người ghét like cái gì bên trong bên ngoài đầy đủ như vậy đó. Wow. Woohoo! Let's go. West Palm Beach, Florida quý vị. Trong cái ngày tổng thống birthday. Đúng giờ là 3 giờ là đó sẽ open, nhưng mà có thể là sớm hơn chút xíu, cho nên mọi người bây giờ đang còn đứng ghép lại đây. Đó, nhiều người ngồi trong bóng mát. Ok quý vị, đây là đoàn người đang đứng ghép lại. Và trời cũng đang còn chuyển mưa. Hy vọng là mọi người vô hết trơn rồi mới có mưa nha, chứ còn không kiểu này là phải ướt hết, mà ướt hết trơn là xong vô lại trong thì hơi kẹt. Đó quý vị.
Darling, clean up on aisle 46.
Yes, ma'am. Go. Thank you. Bên này là cái like của VIP đứng cái like bên này, và cái like bên trong là của General. Thì mình cũng đến đây sớm cho nên đứng check in đầu tiên luôn. Ok quý vị.
I wasn't. I told my daughter off the stuff. President Trump did his debut. Gotcha. I posted one video. I gotta catch you on Facebook if I'm not already on Facebook. I'm damn good.
You're good.
I'll talk to you later.
Pictures. Woohoo! What up?
We love you.
Got it. Never surrender.
Nice job, man! Yay!
To run the same office.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Good
exactly
idea.
what you need to do. So we're just going to keep on sending. Somebody's got to do something. It's ridiculous.
Raise you up. That's Bob and
Attorney
Henry.
goes right along with
Yes. Back there. Come on, let's go. No, I'm being forced. All right. Woo! Hey, I'm standing here with your boyfriend. I did not. You ready?
Over here.
Yes. Hold on 1 second.
Should I make you move? Go in there.
I already know.
Let's go, let's go. Come on. Woo. That's it. Now we can go.
There we go.
Now we go.
Now we're going.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Happy
President.
birthday, President Trump.
Happy birthday.
Woo! Happy birthday, Trump! Woo! Show it.
Go ahead, look.
Show it, Trump. Show it.
George, you got your card?
Let's
We had
go.
some old bikes.
Come on.
Can you take a picture of us, please? Sure.
You know George, right? I know George.
You got a bus like us. Everybody say Porky's Beach.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed on the twilight was gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright star through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, they were bursting in, yet proved through the night not a flag was still there. Oh, said the star-spangled banner yet waved o'er the land and the free, and the warm and the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage former Director of ICE, Tom Homan.
How you doing? Hey, look, they give me 5 minutes to say a few things, so if I offend anybody tonight, I don't give a shit. Because I'm pissed off. I walk here tonight, several people stop me and said, why are you always pissed off on TV? Why are you always pissed off when you testify in front of Congress? Because I'm pissed off. We handed this administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and they unsecured it on purpose. And that's to piss you off. I've worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I ever worked for took steps to secure the border, because they understood you can't have strong national security if you don't have border security. No one did it better than President Trump. What he did was unprecedented. He happens to be the greatest president in my lifetime. People say our policies were inhumane and cruel. Let me tell you something. Dr. Trump ordered through the study said 31% of women that make that journey through the cartels get sexual assaulted. So let me ask you a question. When President Trump had illegal immigration at a 45-year low, 90% decrease. How many women were being raped? How many children were drowning in the river? How many pounds of fentanyl didn't make it in this country to kill Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't make it in the country? How many billions of dollars did the cartels make? President Trump is one badass president. He secured the border. Have a look, we've never seen before. And I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that have been released in the United States under this administration. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to need some help. Do I have any volunteers that want to come back and help run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation? I can't wait. I can't wait. No, I travel around the country giving speeches to a lot of people about what's going on the border. Here's what you need to understand. Under Joe Biden, 148,000 Americans have died from fentanyl across the open border. There's a 600% increase in sex trafficking of women and children. No suspected terrorists under the Trump administration, we had 11. They're already at 366. Border Patrol's arrested more terrorists coming across the border in 1 month than Trump had in 4 years. This is the biggest national security vulnerability this country's ever had. And this administration isn't doing squat about it. It's un-American. Alejandro Mayorkas needs to be impeached. 2 years ago. Now he's done. President Biden, you should be next. Because you sold the security of this country out for political reasons. There's no reason to open a border. There's no downside on a secure border. There's no downside unless migrants dying. There's no downside unless women get raped. There's no downside unless Americans die of drug fentanyl. There's no downside to keeping terrorists out of this country. I'm sitting backstage with a bunch of American patriots who served in the military, and their goal is to fight terrorism around the world. But we don't want to fight terrorism here, but we're already doing it because 8 of them got in, and I guarantee you there's a hell of a lot more rape. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but someday it is going to happen because what this administration did is going to be a bad day for America. I'm telling you. This scares the shit out of me. But you know what's going to happen? In January of 25, the greatest president of my lifetime walking back in the White House. He tells me he got, like 120 days, he said no, he got 16 blocks of work. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what I told the president. He comes back, I come back, we fix this shit. You can take that to the bank. The president asked me, well, Tom, won't you be taking a big pay cut? Yeah.
You may want a picture of my butt.
But I'm so pissed off, I'll come back for free. So, great birthday. I'm looking forward to next year. Because Donald Trump will be the president, and I'll be in the middle of running the biggest deportation operation this country's ever seen. Thank you. Get on your feet and raise some hell. Get on right. And the service nation is backstage. Let me hear you. My honor, I have an honor of introducing the next speaker, Congressman Webster Barnaby from the great state of Florida. He's a patriot. He's going to come out and he's going to do some preaching. Good afternoon, fellow patriots. Are you ready to fight for America? Are you ready to save America? By God's grace, we will make it great again. I'm honored to serve the great state of Florida in the State House of Representatives. I'm your Vice Chairman of Criminal Justice. We are the law and order state. Welcome to the free state of Florida. I said welcome to the free state of Florida. We are the United States of America. We will remain united as one nation under God with President Donald J. Trump. One nation, unashamed, unabashed, not divided, not confused. We know who we are. We are the children of God, and we're not ashamed to love our families and to love our flag. As we celebrated Flag Day, I remember being an immigrant coming from Great Britain, being naturalized after waiting 11 years for my citizenship. On Tuesday, the 5th of March, 1998, I put my hand over my heart and I cried like a baby when I pledged my allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. I am proud to understand that we're not a democracy, we are a great republic. Because we get involved as individuals, don't get it twisted, folks. You turn to the neighbor and you tell them the word democracy is not found one time in our Constitution. We are a republic. Glory to God, we pledge allegiance to a republic and we will return this country back to where it needs to go. Our education system will be fixed under President Trump. Our entire country will learn to love America again. My children and your children's children will grow up loving our country. Ronald Reagan says we're one generation away from extinction, but I see patriots all across this beautiful room tonight.
Vietnam.
Stand with me and pray for President Donald Trump. Stand with me and fight for President Donald Trump. We will win in the legislature. We will continue to advance conservative principles to make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Donald J. Trump. Happy birthday, President Trump. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson.
All right, well, hey, thank you guys for coming. This is awesome. This is just an incredible experience. I want to thank I want to thank you guys for having us. Club 47, what a great group of patriots. I'm here representing the MAGA folks from the state of Texas. We're strong. We're here. We're with you. But you guys have a unique thing here. This Club 47, the way you guys get together and you support the president. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm honored to be here. I think last time I was here was September. But look, I just want to talk to everybody real quick. Like, I want to tell everybody, I only got a few minutes to talk up here, but we all know what this is about. I mean, what an honor, first off, to be here, to get to, wish the president happy birthday. I mean, that's incredible, right? Celebrate the president's birthday with you. That's awesome. Look, I'm going to tell everybody right now, we're on the front lines of a fight that we've never seen before, ever. And I'm going to tell you right now, if we don't win this thing, if we don't win this fight, if we don't win this race, look at what's happening in this country right now. We had the greatest president in the entire history of the United States in Donald J. Trump, right? And things have degenerated. Now we have the absolute worst president that ever set foot in the Oval Office. It is absolutely horrible. Now most of you know I was President Trump's physician, right? And I took care of 3 presidents. I was at the White House for 14 years on active duty as a Navy physician. I took care of Bush, I took care of Obama, and I took care of Trump. And you know what I know at this particular point? First off, my president's Trump. You all know that, right? Well, what I'll tell you is I know firsthand, I've been there. I've seen what it takes mentally and physically to do the job of president. And I can tell you right now, Biden is not there. He is not mentally fit to be our commander-in-chief, to be our president. He's an absolute embarrassment to this country. He is putting us in danger. Look at what he's done to our southern border. Look at what he's done to our reputation overseas with our adversaries and our allies who no longer respect us or trust us. Look at what he's done here in our country with our economy, right? With inflation, with the crime in our streets. We can't sustain this anymore. This is it. This is the fight of a lifetime. We've all said it as politicians, and I'm a relatively new politician, but we've all said at one point or another in my short career, I've said it myself, this is the most important election of our lifetime. But you better bet your butt this is the most important election of our lifetime right now. I need everybody needs to get out, you need to vote, you need to find other people that aren't registered to vote, get them registered, get them out. We've got one chance left to take this country back and to make America great again. Thank you guys for having me tonight. Thank you guys for being here to support our president. Love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
I let you all want to see the American flag sit on your jackets. I see it on your hats. I see it on your shirts. I see it all over. Let me ask you something. Does that flag mean something to you? Damn right. You see it hanging over Mar-a-Lago, over the Capitol. You see it over the caskets or on the shoulders of our service members. It absolutely means something to every single one of us. You go to the other side, you don't see them wearing the flag. You see them tearing it down. You see them stomping on it. You see them spitting on it. You see them desecrating it because it doesn't mean something to them like it means something to us. You asked me about my favorite picture. One of my favorite pictures in the world. I know you all have seen it. You see that picture of Donald J. Trump holding that American flag? He's holding it like he's holding one of his kids or holding one of his grandkids because he loves it. Because it means something to him. Because he loves this place. He loves this country. He loves what it stands for. He loves what we've done. That's what we need in a president. That's what we'll get in a president. And this November, America will win because we will have a president again that loves this place, and you will win because Donald Trump will win. And I just have one other question for you. I don't know if some of you guys know the answers to this. I might have asked you a couple times. Where do we stand on terrorists? Where do we stand on terrorists? Let's do that one. Where do we stand on terrorists? God bless you. God bless America. God bless Donald J. Trump.
In the White House so he can save our country and so he can do the reason why he's been in this in the first place, to make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. Let's go win.
Is to introduce to you the 45th president and soon to be the 47th president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
I also want to thank Larry Snowden. I'll tell you what, you just saw him as a great speaker. He's not a singer, but he's a good speaker. Not a great singer. He's not Pavarotti, do we?
Not Marilyn
But he's a
Monroe.
good man. Sue Snowden and Linda Stock for their outstanding work. Along with Senator Marco Rubio, thank you very much, Mr. Senator. Thank you. Thank you very much, Marco. Great job. We have some members of Congress here, the warriors. Corey Mills. Corey. Thank you, Corey. These are great people. Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, he was my doctor in the White House. He said I was the most healthy person. Thank you very much, Dr. He was a great doctor, a great admiral, now he's a great congressman. Nancy Mace. Nancy, thank you. She won a big race. She just won a big race by a lot. Brian Mast, a very good friend. Phenomenal guy. More courage than all of us. And Gus Bilirakis. Gus, thank you very much. It's been so fantastic. That whole Florida delegation. State representatives also here. Webster, Barnaby Webster, thank you for a big prayer. Webster gave a beautiful prayer. And Rick Roth. And we have Ambassador David Friedman here, everyone. He loves Israel. David, thank you, David. And former ICE acting director. Yes. And he's not acting in that book, he's just the director, he's the boss. There's nobody that knows more about the border than Tom Homan. Florida CFO Jimmy Petronas. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. And Florida GOP Chair Evan Power. Evan, good job you're doing, Evan. We appreciate it. Countless members of the Palm Beach Trump campaign, they're all here. We have a woman that nobody's ever heard of, but she works very hard, Kellyanne Conway. Nobody's heard of her. Thank you, Kellyanne. Thank you for everything. And we have World War II veteran and former B-17 ball turret gunner. You know what that is? That was dangerous stuff. Charles Phillips, who I just met, he's incredible. He's 101. He looks better than me. And he looks a hell of a lot better than Biden, I can tell. And he's got more gas. And my sister, Elizabeth, where is Elizabeth? Right there. Great sister, too. Great one. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With the help of everyone here tonight, we're going to win this state in November. We're going to evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House. We are going to fight. In many decades, many years, at least 38 straight months where it's over a number. He said, when I inherited the country, inflation was at 9%. That was just another one of the Biden lies. Inflation was at 1.4%. And thank you very much, McNews, for sticking. Pushing toward 10%, and you can't get the money anyway. You know, with us, it was 2.5%, right? Yeah. And what you just saw him as your great speaker. He's not a singer, but he's a good speaker. Not a great singer. He's not Pavarotti, do we? But he's a good man. Sue Snowden and Linda Stock for their outstanding work. Along with Senator Marco Rubio, thank you very much, Mr. Senator. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. We have some members of Congress here, the warriors. Corey Mills. Corey. Thank you, Corey. Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, he was my doctor in the White House. He said I was the most healthy person he's ever seen. Thank you very much. He was a great doctor, a great admiral, now he's a great congressman. Nancy Mace. Nancy, thank you. She won a big race. She just won a big race by a lot. Brian Nash, a very big fan. Phenomenal guy, more courage than all of us. And Gus, the Billarocus. Gus, thank you very much. They've been so fantastic. That whole Florida delegation. State representatives also here. Webster, Barnaby Webster, thank you for the big prayer. Webster gave a beautiful prayer. And Rick Roth. And we have Ambassador David Friedman here, everyone. He loves Israel. David, thank you, David. And former ICE acting director. And he's not acting in my book, he's just the director, he's the boss. There's nobody that knows more about the border than Tom Homan. Florida CFO Jimmy Petronas. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. And Florida GOP Chair Evan Power. Evan, good job you're doing that. We appreciate it. Countless members of the Palm Beach Trump campaign, they're all here. We have a woman that nobody's ever heard of, but she works very hard. Kellyanne Conway, nobody's ever heard of. Thank you, Kellyanne. Thank you forever. And we have World War II veteran and former B-17 ball turret gunner. You know what that is? That was dangerous stuff. Charles Phillips, who I just met, he's incredible. He's 101, he looks better than me. And he looks a hell of a lot better than Biden, I can tell. He's got more guts. And my sister Elizabeth. Where is Elizabeth? Right there, my beautiful sister. Oh, a great sister, too. Great one. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With the help of everyone here tonight, we're going to win this state in November. We're going to evict crooked Joe Biden from the and we are going to simply make America great again. Less than 4 years ago, our border was super inflation was nowhere to be seen. We had it down to a science. The world was at peace. And instead of weakness and failure, America was stronger and more respected than ever before. It was never so respected as it was for 4 years, just 4 years ago. Now under crooked Joe Biden, the world is in flames. We have a country that's being laughed at all over the world. Our border is overrun, inflation is raging, Europe is in chaos, the Middle East is exploding. Iran is totally emboldened. They were broke when I was president. China is on the march. And the worst, most incompetent, most corrupt president in history is dragging us toward World War III. Under crooked Joe Biden, illegal aliens are better off, terrorists are better off, China is better off, Russia is better off, the cartels are better off, but the American people were far better off when you had a president named Donald J. Trump. Under my leadership, we had no wars. Instead of a globalist, a warmonger in the White House, you had a peacemaker in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We had energy independence, and soon would have been energy dominant. We were dominant all over the world within a matter of months. We were going to be energy dominant, but we went to #1 in the world under Trump. I gave you record tax cuts, record inflation was knocked out. We had inflation like you've never had it, and now we have more inflation than probably, they like to say 52, and then 62, and then 75 years. I think it's the highest inflation we've ever had as a country. It's a country bust. But we have regulation that nobody has ever cut regulations to the extent that I did. We had rising wages, and we lifted up all Americans, black, brown, white, and everything else. They were all lifted up. Everybody had jobs. Everybody was doing well. Women, men,
Everybody was doing well. If you had a diploma, if you didn't have a diploma, if you graduated #1 at MIT, if you didn't graduate at all, every single group was doing better than ever before. We stood up to China like nothing, like nobody has ever done. Everybody was being taken advantage of by China, to put it mildly, bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars when no other president had literally gotten 10 cents from China. We brought in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. We created Space Force. We rebuilt our military. We had it totally rebuilt. We obliterated, we did something that everybody said you couldn't do it or it would take years. We quickly obliterated the ISIS caliphate and we kept radical Islamic terrorists and jihadists the hell out of our country. We kept them out, they weren't here. I never used to like to talk about it. I didn't want to say it while I was president, but I kept going and going. We never had an attack when I was president. We never had an attack because we kept them out. We have the strongest border in the history of our country. Now we have the weakest border in the history of the world. It's very simple. It's not good. What's happening in our country is not good. The fact is our country is going to hell. And we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it fast. But now, instead of keeping out terrorists, Joe Biden has allowed thousands and thousands of terrorists to pour in for years. I've been warning that Crooked Joe is letting the world sickness goes vile, clean out their countries all over the world of prisoners, of criminals, of drug dealers, and they're dropping them into our country. And we have a president who has never changed on what the hell is going on. Just look at him yesterday, the day before. In Europe, he doesn't know where the hell he is. Our country has never been in danger like it's in danger right now. Just this week, ICE has arrested not one, not two, but 8 suspected terrorists at the highest level of terrorism. We had a year, one of our years, I don't even believe it, it's too good to be true, but we had a year where they actually had down 0 terrorists came in. If you look at 2019, that was a Trump year. 0 terrorists came in. 0. I don't know if you believe that. It was certainly a nice report that was given out by the fake news, but maybe it wasn't fake. But I will tell you, that was the best stat that anybody had heard to that point. Now, hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of terrorists are pouring into our country. We're going to be paying a big price. We're going to do this. This is the most important election. These terrorists and all of these people into the United States, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. We have no idea who they are, where they come from. They're pouring into our country like never before. It's crazy. So he set them loose to spread their terror network all across America, and he probably doesn't even know it because he doesn't know where the hell he is. You know that? I looked at the fake news today and they were saying what a wonderful job he's doing in Europe. The guy is lost.
Awesome, thank you.
Every time he does something, all he has to do is complete the story. And the fake news, CNN, MSDNC, CBS, ABC, NBC, they go out. There they are, look at how many. That's a lot of fake news. Information, like the 51 intel agent said. It was a made-up story for election interference, and I assume that we're going to be talking about that subject at the debate. Is anybody going to be watching the debate? You know, they made an offer to me that I couldn't accept. All my life, I had no problem. Now, within a period of a few months, I get indicted more than Al Capone. Al Capone, Scarface. My parents are looking down at me saying, how did this happen to you? By the way, you know that if I wasn't running or if I was in 4th place or something, none of this would be happening. That's right. But we're onto them. Everybody in Congress is onto them. They're a bad group and they're dirty. It's all election interference. I'm being indicted for you. Remember that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Never again around this one to take away my freedom because I will never let them
silence me because I will never let them silence you. In the end, they're not after me, they're after you, and I just happen to be standing there. And if you want to volunteer to help us turn out and vote in your neighborhood, sign up to get trained at TrumpForce47.com. TrumpForce47.com. We have to do a job here. We have to do a big, beautiful job. And just remember that date. Remember the date. And it comes earlier, you know, in Pennsylvania, it's September 22nd. In North Carolina, where we have, we've taken the head of the Republican Party. We won that state so strong, so powerfully. He had 602 lawyers working for him so that they couldn't steal the vote. He was good. So Michael's here someplace, but he was the head of the North Carolina Republican Party, and what a job he did. Thank God. And he's very focused. I actually tell our people, we don't need your vote. We got so many votes, we don't need them. We just don't want to see votes stolen. We don't want to say, you know, steal the vote. We're not letting it happen. We're not going to let it happen. It's not happening again. Our country can't take it, and we're not going to let it happen again. So you take a look. In conclusion, and it's just a beautiful night. I hate to conclude. We should go on much more. Congressman, I don't think we should conclude. Let's go on for a couple of hours. We won't lose anybody. We won't lose anybody. But in conclusion, from Jacksonville to Miami, from Tampa to Tallahassee, from Pensacola right here in beautiful Palm Beach, we inherit the legacy of generations of American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and to defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, and from right here, this beautiful state launched our brave American astronauts. We need it can be fixed, and we can fix it rapidly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be shut, sealed, and secure. We will let people into our country, but we will let them in through a legal process. Do it, sir. Inflation will almost immediately be in full retreat. Our economy will be roaring back. Optimism and pride in our country will be surging. The American dream, which nobody talks about anymore, will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Law and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past. And our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th president. Yes, sir! Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you. Biden gets up, makes the worst State of the Union speech anyone's ever seen, and every one of them said, wasn't he wonderful? So in addition to all of his other well-documented offenses, crooked Joe Biden is now also guilty of providing material support for terrorism. Under Biden, there's been a 3,000% increase in the number of people on the terror watch list crossing into our country from the southern border. 3,000%, and that comes from the Border Patrol. Our country is going to pay a steep price for many, many years. This is a terrible thing that's happened. Now, here's the story. We have time tonight, right? Only if you want. Only if you want. But by any chance, has anybody ever heard of the snake? Do you want to hear it tonight? Does anyone not want to hear it? That's the end. I have to do it. So this is really a metaphor. It's a song that was written long ago. Hi, Joe. Hi, Daddy. But it plays very well for illegal immigration, and I've done it, and people like it a lot. And we'll do it. It takes just a minute, but it's very salient. It's something that is very salient and very accurate, unfortunately. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman smelling poor, half-frozen snow. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. That's what we're doing. We're taking people in. And those people are not the right people. We're taking people in and we're going to have a lot of problems for a long time. Yes, sir. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's so sad to watch our country is being destroyed by incompetent people, by grossly incompetent leadership. The dumbest, probably the dumbest leadership in the world. That's right. In fact, I think we should have, and I called it, all presidents should have aptitude tests, IQ tests, or cognitive tests. Dr. Ronnie Jackson gave me one. He gave me one at the hospital. That's a great hospital too. He said, well, sir, the problem is if you don't do well on it, it's going to get public. Because it's a public hospital, essentially, right, Ronnie? I said, well, is it hard? He said, yeah, it's hard. The last 3 quarters are pretty hard, right? The first question's easy. I said, well, let's do it, Ronnie, let's do it. Did I ace it? I aced it. Yes, sir. On day 1 of our new administration, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. Biden has given us no choice. The largest invasion in the history of our country requires the largest deportation in the history of our country. The largest up until now was Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower. He did not like what was happening at the time. But you know what? That was a peanut compared to what's happening now. That was a peanut, a mere peanut. As we secure our border, I will also take immediate action to save our economy. As of this week, Crooked Joe has inflicted the longest period of continuous inflation in many, many decades, many years. At least 38 straight months where it's over a number that's unthinkable. Unthinkable. These are unthinkable numbers. 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9%. And then he tried to blame me last week, and even the fake news stuck up for me. He said, when I inherited the country, inflation was at 9%. That was just another one of the Biden lies. Inflation was at 1.4%. And thank you very much, fake news, for sticking up. And also, that Biden group, they just lie. That's all they're good at. It's called misinformation / disinformation. Almost the same, but not exactly. But we won't get into it. Biden inflation, price hikes, and energy destruction have cost the average American family an astonishing $28,000. The monthly cost of a typical mortgage has doubled under Crooked Joe Biden. The 30-year mortgage rate is pushing toward 10%. And you can't get the money anywhere. You know, with us it was 2.5%, right? And there's plenty of money for everybody. On day one of my new administration, we will throw out Bidenomics and replace it very quickly with Maganomics. We will quickly rebuild the greatest economy in the history of the world, and America will prosper like never before. We will bring our country back. We will bring it back quickly. It's going to be quickly. Yes, weak and failed Joe Biden has no plan to stop inflation. He has no idea what the hell is happening. He doesn't know where he'll be in an hour. Where will be later on this evening? I have no idea. His only ideas are spending more money, letting in millions more illegal aliens for whatever reason. You know the reason, look. Either they're stupid, and they can't be stupid when they cheat the way they cheat. That's right. Nobody ever cheated like they cheated. So either they're stupid or they hate our country, but there's a third reason. They want these people to vote. The only problem they have is if you're talking about Hispanic Americans, there's a lot of Hispanic Americans, they're voting for Trump now. That's right! I can't just have a plan to end the inflation. And it will end very quickly. First, I will stop Joe Biden's inflation-causing spending spree and oppose an immediate moratorium on Crooked Joe's hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in waste. He is wasting hundreds of billions of dollars. Even Europe. Did you see? He flies back and forth and back and forth. He spends a day and then comes back and falls asleep at every single event. The one beauty was here's a parachute landing, everybody's watching, and he's turning around in the other direction. The new leader of Italy did a great job. She said, turn around, you fool. I don't respect our country anymore. But then his wife flew back and forth like it was a taxi cab. It's Air Force One and more Air Force Two. Just back and forth, back and forth. Let's go. Let's go sit in the trial for a day. Go back and forth, back and forth. It's really terrible. But that's endemic of the big picture. That's very endemic of the big picture. Crooked Joe spent $8 billion to build 7 charging stations for American. Did you know that? Spent $8 billion to build 7 charging stations. Can you believe it? He spent more than $1 billion apiece. Now they build about 1 million more stations. This is the craziest of this whole electric thing. If somebody wants an electric car, I think that's great. But if you want a car that can go long distances, that's less expensive, that's made in the country, because electric cars are made in China. I'm all for them, but if somebody wants one, we want it. But if they want gasoline or if they want a hybrid, they have to be able to get it. We will end his crazy electric mandate on day one. I will not approve one penny for the Green New Scam. It's not a Green New Scam. Second, I will end Joe Biden's More American Energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. I've second hope that by the end of my term, America will have the #1 lowest cost of energy and electricity all over. You know, if you go to New England, it's the most expensive energy practically on the planet. Yeah. Yes, sir. And we're going to get energy prices reduced within the first year to less than half of what they are right now. That's going to bring down. Third is to fight Joe Biden's inflation. We will stop the Biden migrant invasion, which is an estimated 50% of inflation has been caused by the soaring cost of housing, which is skyrocketing due to illegal immigration and high interest rates. You got to see, the migrants, they come in illegally. In many cases, they're criminals, I said, from jails and from mental institutions. Yes, sir. They're getting treated better than our military, than our veterans. Our veterans are lying on the streets, and we're taking care of people, putting them in luxury hotel rooms. Our military is lying on the street. It's all going to end. Crooked Joe let in 16 million people so far with no place to put them. This is not sustainable by any country. Biden's illegal aliens are driving up rent, food costs, healthcare costs, taxes, and more. How about Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom is the failed governor of California. He was saying, come to California, we'll take care of your health care, we'll take care of your hospitalization, we'll take care of everything. And you know what happened? Everyone believed him, and they're all pouring into our country at levels never seen before. They're worse now. Then he comes up, you know, he's getting killed in the polls. You know, there's a guy named Trump that's killing his guy. So they came up with a phony border plan. The congressman knows very well, totally phony plan, and he never used it. He never used it. It was no good anyway. It allowed millions of people to come in. It was the worst, stupidest plan I've ever seen. But he decided not to use it because more people came in after he did the plan than we've ever seen before. Thousands of people a day started pouring into our country. This was last week. Last week. It's a disgrace what's happening in our country. They're laughing at us all over the world. President Xi of China, oh my God. You take a look. Kim Jong-un of North Korea, take a look at what they're saying about us. They can't believe it's happening. In fact, if it weren't for the stupidity, the dumbest move, the worst, I think the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, Afghanistan. The way we got out, not the fact that we were getting out with dignity and strength and power. We were taking Bagram, the Air Force Base, because it's only 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. You know who occupies Bagram right now? China! They occupy one of the biggest air bases in the world with the biggest runways, most powerful, strongest runways, deepest concrete. That was when we knew how to build, and we built with big dollars. And we built it, and we gave it up, just left. 1 hour away from where China, now China is occupying it. It's a disgrace. They laugh, they think we are so stupid. They think he is the dumbest human being. They can't even believe it. President Xi says this is some kind of a trick. When Biden walks in, and he has no idea where the hell he is. He can't find his way off the stage. See the stage? We got stairs for up. He can never find his way. I don't want to imitate, because any time I imitate, they say it was Trump. I called up my great first lady, I said, made this great speech. 58,000 people, I made this speech, and then I imitated him, trying to find his way off the platform. I go, you know, the way he always goes like, but he's pointing to us there. But you know what? These Secret Service guys are stars. They always run up and grab them. But I imitated him not long ago, and when I did the full imitation, then I ended up walking into a wall. How good was that? How great was I tonight? We had some crowd. That was a massive crowd. How good was I? You were really good. You know, usually she'll say I didn't like your hair. She'll say, how good was I? You didn't look great. Your hair was terrible. In New Jersey 2 weeks ago, 25,000 people in the South Bronx. It was a lot. Now we get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I hate to say it. And by the way, if it weren't true, there would be headlines. But I said, who else can get these numbers? Nobody. How good was it? Don't you say, President Trump. Have you been great? You say, here I am up there. But, you know, one day, she said it was phenomenal. But what happened? You couldn't find your way off the stage. And I said, they said that, so I can't kid anymore, because they know we kid, and we can't be sarcastic anymore because they take it as the truth. Isn't that terrible? My great warriors over here. Just stupid. They know what you can't kid anymore because these people are trying to decide. I said, no, I was just imitating freaking Joe Biden. She said, oh, I see. Well, they didn't say that. They just showed you running into walls. And fourth, I will cancel every unnecessary and costly Biden regulation that is driving up prices. The Biden regulations have added $10,000 a year in regulatory cost per household. By contrast, under my administration, we saved $10,000 per household. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. I get more tax cuts than any president in history, including Ronald Reagan with his big tax cuts. More regulation cuts than any president in history, and we rebuilt our military and we added Space Force. What we did is incredible. Now, the rebuilt military, you know, unfortunately, this fool left Afghanistan with $85 billion of brand new planes, tanks, and even goggles, night goggles. 77,000 vehicles. Think of it. Who needs 77? If you took the largest used car lot in Florida, I'll bet they don't have more than 500 cars, maybe 700, maybe 1,000. 77 trucks and vehicles, many of them armor-plated, were left in Afghanistan. And I tried to explain to people, we were getting out with dignity and strength. The first thing you do is you take your military out last. They took the military out first. And once the military were gone, the Taliban had a field day. We lost 13 soldiers, and nobody mentions the 38 soldiers that were horrifically wounded with their arms blown off, their legs blown off, their face so badly damaged. They're warriors. They're warriors. But nobody mentions them. I mention them all the time. I mention them all the time. And we have many people there, Americans are there right now. We should have never let that beautiful romance. There has never been a more embarrassing moment, in my opinion, in the history of our country. And because of that, Putin attacked Ukraine. I mean, that's what happened. He looked at these incompetent people. He said, is this what I have to deal with? If I were there, he would have never, ever even thought about attacking Ukraine. And he did. And fifth, while Biden wants to drive up prices even further with the largest tax hike in history, you know, all my life I've been watching politics, and I've always sort of enjoyed politics, I guess, otherwise I wouldn't be on here right now. But I've been watching it, and I've always seen politicians want to do tax cuts. This is the only group that want to increase your taxes by 4 times higher than you're paying right now. They don't want the Trump tax cuts to be permanent. They want to end the tax cuts. We gave you the largest tax cut in history. They want to terminate that at the end of another 6-7 months. And can you imagine that? And I want to make them permanent, and then I'm going to reduce taxes by still more. Do you know that after we gave the tax cuts, our country took in with half the tax. Our country took in because of incentives and because we had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
we took in more tax revenue with far less tax. We taxed at far less, but we took in much more revenue. Think of that. So we cut taxes down from 49 for business, 49, much more than that when you add in state and local, down to 21%. And yet we took in more revenue at a much lower rate. Who would think that's even possible? But that's the way it works. I want to get it down still further, and especially for the middle income people. We're going to get it down still further. That's why we had such great job. Best job production in history. And as part of those tax cuts, I've announced that I will eliminate taxes on tips for restaurant workers, hospitality workers, and anyone else. No more taxes on tips. You know how I did that? It wasn't really a lot of study, a lot of work. I've been hearing about it for years, how unfair it is. And Biden just passed a set of regulations that make it impossible for waitresses and people that get tipped, any people getting tipped. He passed something that makes it impossible. But I've been hearing, and last week I was in Las Vegas at a beautiful building that I built in this great the Trump Hotel. And I was having dinner with a group of people on the campaign. And the waitress came over, she was very nice. And I said, if you could have any wish, what would it be? She said, that we get rid of the taxes on tips. They're so vicious. You know, they hired 88,000 IRS agents to go after them. And she said, it's so vicious what they do. And the new regulations passed by Biden are so vicious. And I said, wait a minute, I have an idea. We shouldn't have people pay tax on tips. Will I have your votes on that in the third round? We got 6 votes. We don't even need the votes. We're going to do it. No tax on tips, okay? It's done. Done. We need to spread the word so that every time you leave a tip for the next 5 months, you put on the receipt. Vote for Trump because there's no tax on tips. See that? That was done. See the screen? That was done by somebody. They voted. This is a person paying. And they said, vote for Trump. There'll be no tax on tips. That's the first thing they said. That was a tipster as opposed to a tippee.
My guy better.
But it's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones that can stop them. And it was just announced that they withdrew the lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani. Did you see that? Of everything under the sun regarding the laptop from hell, they just withdrew the lawsuit on the basis that Rudy Giuliani turned out to be right. He was right. We love Trump! 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 Joe Biden! We love Trump! 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 It's the biggest birthday party I've ever had by far. Happy birthday! I got twice as many spending. You explain it. From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we are going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
Yes,
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine.
That's the man right there.
And I will do something that nobody else will be able to do. I will prevent World War III, and we are very close to being in World War III. If I was president, the Afghanistan disaster would never have happened. Ukraine would never have happened. Would never have been invaded by Russia. I had an understanding with Putin. There's no way it would have happened. And the October 7th attack on Israel would never, ever, ever have happened. Iran was broke under the Trump administration. Now we have Russian warships and nuclear submarines surrounding Cuba 60 miles off the coast of Florida. How does that make you feel? Do you feel good? And that's only because Biden's weakness is putting us in grave danger. Putin has no respect for him. No foreign leader has respect for him. The only thing they're good at is cheating and misinformation. That's it. As president, I will restore peace through strength. We had no wars. Remember, we had no war strength. Remember Hillary was saying, he's going to cause us wars. His personality. I said, no, my personality is going to keep us out of wars. That's right. In my next term, we will build a great iron dome over our country. We deserve a dome. Yeah. We deserve all made, state-of-the-art, it's a missile defense shield, and it'll all be made in America. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Why are we not? You know, Ronald Reagan wanted to do that many years ago, but at that time we didn't have the technology, in all fairness. People said Star Wars, Star Wars. He was right, but he was too early because we didn't have the technology. Now we have unbelievable technology. It's all going to be made in the United States. We're going to have a big, beautiful iron dome over our country. To further secure America's future and create opportunity for young people, I will end Joe Biden's war on crypto, and we will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in America. We're going to keep it right here, and a lot of it's going to be done right here in Florida. I will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors. Remember this. By allowing millions of people to pour into our country, he is putting Medicare and Social Security at very serious risk. We're going to take care of it. We're going to take care of that. It's a bad problem. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope, safety, and beauty better than they've ever been before. Right now, they're crime-ridden, horrible places. You can't walk down the street, all run by Democrats, by the way. We will take over our horribly run capital of our nation. In Washington, D.C., it's a crime-ridden place. We will clean it up, we will renovate it, we are going to rebuild our capital city so that it no longer is a nightmare of murder and crime. There will be no murder, there will be no crime. We will have powerful law enforcement for the criminals, but rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world, which it should be. It's so sad. People go down to Washington, D.C., they want to go from Iowa, they want to go from all the different places in our country, and they end up getting murdered, they end up watching murder, they end up getting into fights. It's a hellhole. It's so badly run. We're going to take over the management and the running of Washington, D.C. We're going to clean it. We're going to make it safe. We're going to rebuild parts of it. It's going to be the most beautiful capital and the safest capital anywhere in the world. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender, and other inappropriate sexual or political content or children, minds and bodies of those. And I will not give one penny to any school that is a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men out of women's sports. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous. Men. How ridiculous. Have you seen the records that are being broken? Records that have stood for 18 years are being rather smashed. I want to be nice. They're being smashed. It's so disrespectful to women. Who could want to think of it that open borders. Who wants open borders where the world pours into our country? They take over our medical, they take over our educational facilities, they kill people, they murder people. We have terrorists, and you haven't seen the effect yet because they're just getting settled in. You know, it's like somebody, they're just getting settled in. Wait till you see how bad. These are the toughest people on earth. These are people coming out of the toughest prison. The Congo just released 22 people. The Congo. From prison. Where did you live in the Congo? In prison. What did you do? You don't want to say. So they come from Africa, they come from Asia, they come from South America, they come from the Middle East. What's happening to our country is unbelievable. They're poisoning our country, they're destroying our country, and we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. And I will fully uphold the Second Amendment, so important. It's understandable that we will uphold. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech, and I will secure our elections. Our goal will be one day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and a picture of voter ID. One day voting, paper ballots, voter ID, and by the way, we added a new proof of citizenship. It would be nice if we could do that. The Democrats don't want that, you know, they fight like hell. We don't want voter ID, why don't you want it? You know, the Democrat convention last night, you had to get in, you had to have a sign, like it was a billboard that they hung on, bigger than your chest, if you had a rather small chest, but bigger than your chest. It had your name, it had everything about you, it had your picture all over the place from different angles. But for voting, they don't want anything, they want nothing, because they're crooked, they want to cheat. But we're not going to let it happen, but we got to win this next election to get that change. And until then, all we have to do is win, maybe win. But we want a landslide, because the way you really stop the cheating, you just make it too big to rig. You win again by more than we're winning down states that nobody ever thought was possible for a Republican. I did, because I know what they do. But we're winning in today Minnesota. Think of it. We're winning in Virginia. We're leading Virginia. Glenn Youngkin, who we just met, and he's going to lead the effort to take that state. We think we can win Virginia. We're winning states that, in theory, weren't even talked about. And we're, by the way, we're winning big in Florida, bigger than ever. We set every record. You know, we set every single record. If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as crooked Joe Biden and the Biden administration have done.
That's right.
He's the worst president. You know, until they did all of these horrible things with indictments, you know, that doesn't happen in this country. That happens in third world countries and banana republics. They always treated the presidency with respect. And Biden, I wouldn't hit him that hard. I'd hit him hard. He's an incompetent president, let's face it. Jimmy Carter is the only one happy with Biden. Because compared to Biden, Jimmy Carter's administration was brilliant, absolutely. It's the only one happy. But until this happened with the lawfare, they call it, lawfare, warfare, weaponization, call it whatever, where they go after your political opponent, then I hit him hard. He's the most incompetent, the dumbest. It can be fixed, and we can fix it rapidly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be shut, sealed, and secure. We will let people into our country, but we will let them in through a legal process.
Do it, sir.
Inflation will almost immediately be in full retreat. Our economy will be roaring back. Optimism and pride in our country will be surging. The American dream, which nobody talks about anymore, will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. law, and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past. And our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the one shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th president.
Yes, sir!
Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Father. Thank you, David. God bless you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Một ngày rất là tuyệt vời quý vị. Sau lúc rally và tổng thống Trump nói chuyện cho ngày hôm xong thì mọi người đã ra về, và quý vị thấy đây, đây là một đoàn người giống như là ông vợ tổ vậy đó, rất là đông, người đi lên. Em Phú ơi, thôi dừng lên chờ. Tất cả mọi người ra về. Thấy không? Đông rồi đó. Đây. Rất là đông. Rồi một xe ra về xong rồi mình ra camera luôn. Để quý vị mà đến đây thì cũng là một ngày rất là trọn vẹn quý vị. Thôi tạm biệt quý vị ở đây nha. Hẹn quý vị những cái video sau và gặp trên đoạn đường để chúng ta đi ủng hộ tổng thống Trump quý vị. Riêng hôm nay thì cũng là một ngày happy birthday của tổng thống Trump rất là đặc biệt và mọi chuyện đã suôn sẻ rất là thành công quý vị. Tạm biệt cả nhà và bye bye. Xin hẹn quý vị những video sau nha.